What's going on YouTube? It's Shot Callers Nation back here with another YouTube video. And the Milwaukee Bucks just won their first NBA title in forever. We'll say that. It's a really great accomplishment. If you were not tracking and did not watch, you missed another really good game. This series was amazing. A lot of people in the NBA community have been complaining. I know that, and saying, "Oh, this series isn't that good. If the Nets were healthy, the Bucks wouldn't make it. If the Lakers weren't healthy or the Clippers were healthy, the Suns wouldn't have made it." And I just think that's complete nonsense. Okay, this series, once again, this game specifically was a really good game. Giannis dropped 50 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Stars of the game, Bobby Portis, 16 points off the bench. He was averaging about 6.5 points, and he showed up today. Defensively, he was all right. Offensively, he was doing his thing out there. Brook Lopez had a solid outing, playing good interior defense with 8 points and about 8 rebounds to go along with that. From the Suns' perspective, both teams really didn't shoot all that well today. And it was really sloppy, honestly, as a Game 6. But at the end of it, it was such a good game. It was a close one. Unfortunately, Chris Paul does not end up with the ring, but I'm glad to say that Giannis does get his ring. Speaking of Chris Paul, he had about 25 points, if I'm not mistaken. And he shot really well. He shot above 50% from the field. Jay Crowder had a quality outing. DeAndre Ayton, before he got in foul trouble, was honestly playing all right. Defensively, though, he was getting killed out there. If you weren't watching that, it was bad. It's not really his fault, though. At the end of the day, what are you going to do with Giannis one-on-one? Monty Williams continued to not bring that consistent double team, and when it was, honestly, it was a little too late. And Giannis, the biggest reason why they won was the free throws. Giannis shot 16 of 18 from the free throw line. And previously, he was shooting about 59% from the free throw line before Game 6. So shout out to Giannis for fixing that, because that was probably one of the clutchest things for them to win. Another big thing, Jrue Holiday, even though he shot about last time, I think it was 4 for 19, if I'm not mistaken. He defensively, once again, just outstanding defense on Devin Booker and Chris Paul down the stretch. PJ Tucker, great defense on the perimeter down the stretch. Chris Middleton, he had a bunch of clutch buckets in the fourth quarter. And honestly, that was something special. I'm so happy for Giannis to get that first ring. Hopeful that there's many more to come. Because like I said, I want to see someone in my generation, me being 19, I want to see someone from my generation become the GOAT. I'm hoping that LeBron can get one more ring possibly, but you know what? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Someone will pass Michael Jordan at some point, and maybe it'll be Giannis. We never know. He got his first ring before LeBron and MJ, so you never know. With that said, though, Pat Connaughton, honestly, I was giving him some shit throughout the series, or not the series, throughout this game. Offensively, he was kind of clanking from three. He wasn't really hitting his shots. Defensively, he was getting cooked one-on-one. But the thing that I just failed to mention, his rebounding was really key in this game. I'm pretty sure he finished with 8 rebounds. And overall, he's just been an outstanding rebounder throughout the series. So shout out to Pat Connaughton for doing his thing. I am a little disappointed from the Suns' perspective that Mikal Bridges, I felt like his presence wasn't felt on the defensive end. Which is a little unfortunate. Cam Johnson, honestly, I wanted to see him get more minutes, but I didn't feel his shooting presence was felt today. And like I said, overall, this was a sloppy game on both teams. Both shot pretty much below to around 40% from the field. By the third quarter, it was about 4 minutes in the third quarter. The Bucks had shot 36% from the field, and the Suns had shot 38% from the field. So it was a sloppy game, and the Bucks had so many turnovers. I don't remember the exact count. If I pulled it up, I'm sure I remember. But this is just a live reaction of this game. The biggest thing for me was when Giannis was out, how Bobby Portis stepped up, but two, defensively, I was really surprised, and because I understand that Giannis is just a menace on the defensive end. But I remember when they subbed in PJ Tucker, they had a lineup of Bobby Portis, PJ Tucker, Pat Connaughton, Chris Middleton, and Jrue Holiday for a little bit. And defensively, they were just all they had to do was hold it down for about 2.5, 3 minutes, and they were getting the job done. PJ Tucker, they put him on Devin Booker for a little bit, and Chris Paul. I like that confidence in them. Once again, he came up with a clutch steal on Devin Booker. Regardless if it was a foul or not, he came with a clutch steal on Devin Booker at the end of the fourth quarter, which was key. And I talked about it in the previous video. Devin Booker failing to facilitate consistently, and especially in the fourth quarter, I think played Jurassic Park because on why they lost. And nothing against Devin Booker, bro. Devin Booker is phenomenal. He's a great player. But I feel like his lack of playmaking and galvanizing that team, kind of like what Chris Paul can do, which I understand. Not a lot of people can do what Chris Paul can do when it comes to facilitating, getting his teammates involved. I also understand that Devin Booker is a lethal scorer naturally, and that is what it is. But I feel like that kind of screwed. I don't want to say screwed. Kind of daunted the Suns at times. I know there were some tough shots that weren't going in, and some good looks that were going in for Devin Booker. It's not like he shot lights out today either, which is it's kind of sad because this was the game that he needed to really show up to. It is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Both teams didn't really shoot that well, so it is what it is. I also got to say shout out to Cameron Payne in the first half. Cameron Payne, I remember went on like a 5-7-0 run at one point, literally on his own. And I'm sitting there getting all hyped. I want the Bucks to win, but I love seeing when players just kind of step up. And I was surprised to not see Cameron Payne get more minutes. Now, it did come to an end because what I remember happened was they subbed in Jrue Holiday. And instead of guarding Chris Paul, he put him right on Cameron Payne. And that very first possession, Cameron Payne turned the ball over. And that's why Jrue Holiday was so key throughout the series. The defensive versatility. He's such a strong player, a strong defender. Like you can tell he's bodying up Devin Booker and Chris Paul. And it's honestly, at times, Mikal Bridges, it's incredible how strong he is at his size. And that's another big thing for them. And like I said, I do think Cameron Payne could have got a little bit more run just because I liked his scoring and what he brought. But at the end of the day, his defensive capabilities are very limited. He's not really a great defender. Cameron Johnson, it's funny because I wanted to see him play more in this entire series, but this game specifically, I don't really fault Monty Williams. I didn't think Cam Johnson's shooting, like I said, his presence wasn't really felt this game. And I could tell that Monty Williams honestly gave him a couple extra looks. You could see it. But I saw Cameron Johnson at the end of the shot clock. They let him ISO. It wasn't really an ISO. He was in the corner. He had the ball, and so he kind of had to put something up. That's not how you want to get him involved. Just simple catch and shoots to get him started, and then just simple like that. But his hustle was very apparent. I saw a couple of loose balls that he honestly went on the ground for. That's something you like to appreciate, especially out of a rookie. That's how you make yourself be known for the future of the team, stuff like that. Mikal Bridges, like I said, I felt like his defensive capabilities were not felt this game, which is really unfortunate. And I think the key thing was having DeAndre Ayton in foul trouble again. Now, I understand that Giannis was doing his thing. You can't really do anything about it. But it's the fact that we saw what Toronto did. We saw what Miami did. And Phoenix never did that, consistently at least. And I really don't think they honestly did it that much, which is really unfortunate because you have to be able to send a double team on time early to get the ball out of Giannis' hand. Now, I do also believe that Giannis has learned, and he kind of learned that you can't just run over everyone. You got to be able to slow you down, read the defender, and make a play off of that, whether it's go up with it, whether that's kick it out to the corners, or even kick it out to the wing. And so good on Giannis' part for kind of figuring that out. But there's too many times where DeAndre Ayton's, honestly, he's not chesting up, he's not walling up, he's turning sideways to take that contact, and he's just getting chippy fouls. There's multiple times where the rotations were too late. And I remember talking about it and sitting there, I'm like, at this point in Game 6, there should be no reason why that's happening. And I understand I don't really have the room to talk. It's not like I can do that myself. There's a reason why I'm not playing in the NBA. I'm the one commentating on it. But I feel like I understand the game of basketball. And regardless of, I understand also it's easier said than done. But at the end of the day, you got to execute that. Who was it? I forget who it was. But it was I remember now. It was DeAndre Ayton. So Jay Crowder was walling up Giannis, right? And obviously, we understand that Jay Crowder's at a disadvantage. You have to send a double team. There's no one that's stopping Giannis. DeAndre Ayton got there too late on the rotation, and Giannis had an easy dunk. There was another time that Giannis dunked on like three people. It was Chris Paul, Jay Crowder, and DeAndre Ayton all in that realm, and he just dunked it. And I was just thinking if Jay Crowder was a second earlier, Maybe that pass doesn't even get through. Maybe he has to kick it out. I felt like Giannis just got whatever he wanted throughout the series. And I understand that the free throws is key, and that's what you need. But at the end of the day, if he's just having his way with everything, what are you going to do? And their game plan sort of was to kind of stop everyone else, but Middleton still came up with clutch shots. Jrue Holiday came up with key defensive stops. Bobby Portis, once again, stepped up. I remember Bobby Portis was having fun. You could see it, man. That's awesome. Bobby Portis, he had a couple threes. He's putting it on the deck. Bobby Portis had a pull-up jump shot. The level of coordination it takes for a 7-footer to take a one dribble pull up in the mid range, that's a tough bucket. Shout out to Bobby Portis for that effort today. That was really something special. Someone like that to step up out of nowhere, that's what it takes to be a championship level team. Someone like Bobby Portis, man. Shout out to him for having a great game 6. That's the best thing I could say. I'm seeing him put it on the deck, take it up for easy layups. He had a couple bad fouls that he was right there, and they were debatable fouls. I shouldn't say bad fouls, debatable fouls. But the effort level, it's the effort level that I like today. It was also really awesome to see just that effort level in general from everyone. The loose balls, players diving on the floor, willing to sell their bodies for contact. That's why I like to see. And that's why I wish, honestly, that DeAndre Ayton had done more. I'm understanding that Giannis is a strong player, and hopefully DeAndre Ayton will work on his strength in the offseason, because I think that's a really key reason why he has a lack of aggressiveness, because honestly, DeAndre Ayton needs to be able to he needs to be stronger than that. That's a really key thing for him to become a better defender. But at the end of the day, it's Giannis, man. I was really happy to see that he got 50 points, honestly. That's something that 6 people in NBA history have ever done. So shout out to Giannis. Shout out to the Bucks for this key win. Okay, and that will basically conclude the reaction. Stay tuned for 2 more videos dropping tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the Bucks in the future, and later on this week we're going to start our series. Basically, all 30 teams and what they can do this offseason to kind of improve their teams. With that said, though, that will conclude today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you never miss a beat, all right? With that said, shot callers out.